man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hey, Man. I'm Josh.
I'm Jacob.
Hey, man.
Hello.
First of all, everybody, no shows to announce until August.
True.
So go to comedianjoshwolf.com. We are on the road every week, except for Halloween, Labor Day, and Thanksgiving.
Oh.
From now until the end of the year.
So we're keeping the Christmas dates.
Well, I am. You said you're not doing them.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so Sarah's doing them.
Yeah, I saw that. That's because I saw her post today.
Yeah. And so I'm taking a couple weeks off, and I kind of need it, but not only am I, look at this.
Mhm.
Not only am I excited for the time off, I'm already looking forward to coming back and going on the road, and writing and being rejuvenated and all that stuff. And so for those of you who don't know, Beth and I are going to Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to a lot of Greek podcasts. Yeah.
For what?
Just to, immerse myself in Grecian culture.
Okay, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
In the Greek podcast, are they speaking Greek?
No.
Okay. That's why I was confused. I'm like, why in the fucking world are you listening to a podcast you can't understand?
But they do have a Greek accent, which I didn't know what it was going to sound like.
Okay. You want to try and do one for us?
Yeah, I'm a Greek.
Sound like Mario. but-
Yeah, it's not, I wasn't good, but that's what I remember it sounded like.
All right.
I am so looking forward to going
I bet.
and eating and sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll see some stuff too.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
Where are the
but
cities you're going?
I'm going to Athens. I'm going to Santorini. Hey, Santorini. And that's not a good accent.
I feel like you think every single European country sounds like an Italian plumber. Like that's what I think. You think they all kind of sound like.
I'm trying to get it, but I haven't really dedicated myself to the accent yet. But I'm gonna get it. Next,
No, you're not.
when I come in for the next podcast, I'm gonna have the accent down.
You have to get to talking at the entire podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut. That's not it. I kind of had a stroke mid sentence.
Yeah, what was the cat?
I don't know.
It was like
Um,
Brazilian.
and so excited about that. Yeah, man, just honestly excited to take a little break. I have been taking a little break already from social media, and I honestly, dude, I am at such a I don't give a fuck spot. I really don't care. I've muted just about every account except for the dogs and the travel and you and your brother and sister. That's it.
Fair enough.
I've muted everybody else.
Are you gonna unmute them at any point in time?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I hope everybody's doing well. And people who because people that I know, when I look at them and I look at their social media, I'm like, well, that's not their life. So why am I looking at this?
Yeah.
And if I want to get in touch with a human, I'll reach out to the human. But I honestly, I've seen everybody's comedy clips, and I hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
But I don't give a single fuck.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you want to check up on the person, you'll text them because I feel like social media is just built so you can envy other people. That's all it is. It's just so you can
Yeah, it's not real. I know.
Right.
Yeah, I know how it works. And so I'm not unfollowing people because I don't want them to feel like not that anyone's checking, but I don't want anyone to be like, did he? Because what that means something in today's day and age.
Definitely.
So I don't
Also,
want
if you unfollow one of your peers.
I don't want it to mean something. Like for me, it just means I'm really not interested in following you professionally or anyone for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested in you personally. And if we like each other, I'm sure we're in touch. And those of us who I was just following professionally, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I've done that to a few accounts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a ton of comics or people on my feed that are who I really like. Like, I don't follow every comic that we come in contact with, and some of them follow me, but I just don't follow them because I just don't see the like for me, if you follow me or not, I don't really care. Like if we're close friends and you don't follow me on social media, I don't really give a fuck. Like it's not something that really hurts my feelings. Follow me, unfollow me, I don't really care. But like I have stopped wanting to see the because my algorithm is like you post comedy clips. So how about all of these comedy clips? And I'm like,
Mhm.
how about fucking not, dude? Because I scroll through and it's all the same person, but they've posted over the last 2 weeks, so it comes up every other post. I'm like, I can't do it.
Do you know who I'm interested in spending time with?
Spending time with
Yeah, and that means my time in general.
your parents?
Is people who I love and who are interested in my life and interested in spending time with me.
Oh.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and so I'm not, I'm past that and I wish everybody well. But I officially don't give a fuck what any of you are doing in your business career. I hope you're doing well, but
I don't need to see every step.
I don't really care.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't really care. I've been doing this a
You,
long time.
you ever thought about making a Finsta?
I don't know what that is.
A fake Insta? So like you use your Josh Wolf comedy
Mhm.
for like only like podcast clips or comedy clips, and you use it to interact with fans or interact with your peers, but then you have a fake Insta, which is a personal Instagram account that you use to only follow the personal people that you would like to follow, and you post all your personal stuff on that page, and then you only post business stuff on your Josh Wolf page.
But is it fake if I'm posting personal things on there?
No, Finsta. It's not your prior like your
Oh.
main Instagram. So when people go to look at your account, they're like, oh, this is Josh Wolf Comedy, and this is his account. But your Finsta or your backup Instagram account, the one you kind of creep or want just for your personal life, yeah, it's not fake, but it's like,
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
though? Like,
do. I got to tell you. So, like a couple weeks ago, we watched that dude with the nunchucks.
Nunchuck Tyler.
Nunchuck Tyler. Yeah.
is here to save the day.
Dude. And I've been watching a lot of, people send me clips all the time of people like crazy, like weird dancing by themselves. And also like, this is what I love about the Love on the Spectrum. Yo, my attitude towards those Nunchuck Tyler and the weird dancing people, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just out at a rock concert and they're, dancing by themselves and people are like laughing.
Mhm.
But my attitude towards them has completely changed. I fucking wish, we should all wish we were that free.
Yeah.
We should all wish that we don't give a fuck and we dance like a kook by ourselves in front of thousands of people because we feel the music. Because those people officially don't give a fuck.
Zero.
And so my attitude towards them has changed entirely. It's what I like so much about Love on the Spectrum is that they're just having fun. They're
Yeah.
enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And so like, and I know it's part of the tism, but like there's no thought about if I'm a good singer and I'm going to sing karaoke. I like karaoke, so I'm
Yeah.
going to sing it.
Well, I feel like that's what karaoke is, though. Sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
No worries.
But like I feel like karaoke does it's that safe place for people with not good voices but who love music to kind of go. Like when we go to karaoke, you and I talk about this all the time. I either want you to blow my socks off,
No
you're
doubt.
so good, and that you tried out for American Idol but didn't make it to Hollywood, but you still have a great voice, and I would like to watch you sing, or you have to have the worst voice known to man. Because if you're somewhere in the middle where you're good here, but then you try to hit a high note and you're pitchy, I'm like, yeah, cool, that was fun. But I want you either opposite sides of the spectrum. I want you either the best, like I want you to be like a hidden gem,
No doubt.
or I want you to be the exact thing that I think karaoke is for.
Dude, so you know that I've showed you those clips of that dude, Joey Bro.
Oh, the mullet guy, the silver fox?
Listen, and I told, I don't think, and maybe he's under the illusion that he's a good singer, but nobody else is.
Zero people are.
But who gives a fuck? He is so into it and he's giving it 100 and people watch it because he's giving it 100
Yeah.
and he's into it. And so that he's what kind of started me on the path of who gives a fuck?
You love that guy.
Oh, I love that dude and maybe he's delusional and he listens back and he's like, I got the best voice ever. But he's got to read some of those comments.
There's no way that he thinks there's just
so,
no way.
But this is my point. He still does it.
Yeah.
And he's got a gazillion people who are just like, fucking go, dude. Because they recognize he's just, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Absolutely. And also good for him. Who gives a fuck? He probably makes a good little bit of extra
Yeah,
income
good
every
for him.
month too, man. Like,
Dude,
why do you know what's weird? Every time you remember something, write this down because you're gonna forget it after
Yeah.
I say this. Dude, every time Josh Wolf remembers something,
why are you first last name of me?
we already talked about why I first name, last name you. We've already talked about that. I've already very much explained that. Refer back to the clip, rewind. You do this thing every time you remember something. You're like, oh my God, dude, I just remembered the most important thing ever. And you're like, and then I'm like, what'd you remember? And you're like, I took a shit today. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, what was the important thing? And you're like, that's the important thing. It was shaped like a flag. And I'm like, what
Well,
are we doing?
I did take the longest, not time wise, but
Well,
actual length
individual piece?
shit I've ever taken in my life.
When?
Today.
Was that
This
what you were
morning.
gonna say?
This morning. That wasn't what I was going to say.
Oh.
I was going to leave that out. But
No, but those are the things. Did you take a picture of it?
dude, it was,
Did you take a picture of it?
no,
Why not?
but I did salute it before I
You gotta take
flushed
a,
it.
You gotta take a picture of it.
It was so long.
Interesting.
I was really, honestly, I turned around and I said out loud, fuck yeah.
Unfortunate.
No, dude. Are you kidding?
You gotta take a
I
picture.
gave it a little salute.
No, you gotta take a picture of it. You ever heard of a flagpole
Yeah.
before? You know what a flagpole is?
It comes out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, dude, this was in the hole, out the water, and then back down into the water.
Curled?
It went
Like a
like, no, it went
racetrack?
in the water, in the hole, out of the water, and then curled back down
Like a racetrack.
into the water.
Like
Yeah.
a roller coaster.
It was amazing. It was a Six Flags ride.
That's unfortunate.
It was so fortunate.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I honestly felt so much better.
can't believe you didn't take a picture of it. Is that turtle supplement working?
Do you, this is the next thing. The psyllium husk, my poops
Give me some.
have been like, do you know what they're like? Remember when I was a vegan and I told you the thing I'm going to miss the most is how great the poops are?
Yes.
That has brought back the vegan poops. Now, I'm getting a little older and sometimes I'm regular, sometimes I'm not. I guess that makes me irregular. But, and because I'm a heavy protein dude and sometimes I forget the roughage and so sometimes the deuces are not as satisfactory as they could be. Because you know a good deuce, a good number two is actually like you walk out of that bathroom feeling like you accomplished something. Like that was actually, I'm really proud of my good poops. I'm starting to take these, it's called turtle supplements, TRTL, and it's psyllium husks. This psyllium husk, dude, is the easiest take. I take it in the morning, I take it in the afternoon, and it is the best absolute shits of my life. It makes it easy. And some of you may be grossed out. No pushing, no stress. Just the way God intended shit to come out of your body. So go to TRTL, all caps, .store, TRTL .store. That's all caps, not the store part. And go get 25% off. Put in the promo code Josh Wolf, all caps, no space, Josh Wolf to get 25% off. And I'll tell you what, if you get a bottle and you don't like it, send it back. Send it back and they're going to give you your money back. But I think we all know you're not going to send it back because nobody does that. Who sends it back? Take the bottle. Become regular. Turtle head on your own terms. How easy is it? 1 to 3 capsules a day. It makes it easy and smooth. No push, no struggle. You walk in and out of that bathroom with a smile. Go to TRTL, all caps, .store, promo code Josh Wolf, all caps, and get 25% off your psyllium husks supplements. I'm telling you right now, you will thank me. Just thank me when you get off the shitter. This was the longest poop I've ever taken. Is 0 basic wipe.
I was gonna say frictionless wipe, but no, that's my poop. This frictionless wipe.
It was like just a
ghost poop.
It was amazing. But here's, dude, I landed today from Reno. Went to see my parents this weekend.
Oh, that's right. You just got back today.
And I looked at it was a section that I had never landed in. So I saw a couple of, tell everybody how lucky I am with these slots.
Josh Wolf is pretty good at the slots. I will say, like, the best luck I've seen at airport slot machines. Like airport slot machines, specific one every time. But I had the same one. They took mine out. Mine was in the smoking section.
I know.
And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna sit through all the cigarette smoke and
You
go,
did hit that a lot.
dude, I hit it every time. I remember one time I went with $20 and I turned 120 into 175
Yeah.
on 3 different machines.
Yeah.
I hit a bonus on one machine, went to the next machine, hit a bonus there, and then there was a third one right next to it of all the machine I like, hit it again, 175, walked out. It
Yeah.
was fucking great.
Turning 20 into 175 is pretty good.
In like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the best part. It's like I was like, oh yo. But
Dude.
those are the times where I look at gambling and go, this shit's easy. And then I'm not gonna lie, ever since they took my machine out of the airport, I've been on a cold streak. Actually, that's false.
You know the machine I like.
Wheel of Fortune, which
They-
is never a good machine.
Wheel of Fortune with the triples.
Flaming Hot Sevens.
Okay. So, and the gold spin. So at this one gate where I land, there's never 2 of them. There were 2 of them in a row of 4.
So the same ones?
Same
Sevens?
one. That's not, so I looked and I had to decide which one to sit down at. Sat down, dude. I hit back-to-back spins.
Nice. What'd you get?
Not as good as I like, but still back-to-back spins.
25s?
50 and 40.
$90.
Yeah.
That's about what you started with. That's pretty good.
That's what I walk with. And the reason I'm up is because I always make sure if I'm up, I never go back down.
Yeah, to at least profit.
I always do.
Yeah.
But I walked out, dude. I spun twice, hit 2 spins and left.
I thought you were gonna say sat down and won. The dude next to me won the jackpot. How mad would you have been if he sat down at the machine you didn't choose and won $1.3 million?
I would have probably started to punch him.
Yeah, I would have knocked him out and put him in the other chair and be like, nah, man, he was in that one. I was in this chair. Been like little switcheroo.
I am sure I'm going to hit that jackpot.
You're positive.
I
can't wait for my 50 grand.
Jacob, I've had 2 separate dreams of you and I jumping up and down together next to this one machine.
In the airport.
2 separate dreams, almost identical. They are so vivid in my brain of you and I jumping up and down, celebrating a win. Now, I don't know what the win is.
Well, if you and I are jumping up and down like that.
Dude, but if I hit $10,000, we're jumping up and down.
That's fair.
So I don't know what the win is, but I've had 2 separate dreams of you and I jumping up and down in celebration.
I think when you have the dream a third time, you have to go when you wake up from the dream. I think that's what it is. I think you're waiting too long in between dreams. I think you have to, when you have the dream, that's your sign to go.
Well, dude, I had a dream 2 days before that woman hit the jackpot on my machine.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what else happened at the airport today in Reno? One of my giantest pet peeves. Okay. So I found there was a vending machine of Pokemon cards.
In the airport?
So I FaceTimed your brother.
Thanks for the call.
I FaceTimed your brother.
Dick.
And I go, hey, dude, I want to buy you some of these. Which one should I get? And there was a woman standing behind me. And I said, do you know what you want? And she said, yeah. And I go, okay. I go, I'm just talking to my son. I go, you can grab what you want. So she didn't know what she wanted.
No, she didn't.
She was just on the phone with her kid and just standing there. And I was like, hey, can I get in there? She was like, hold on, I'm gonna buy something. And it was like 15 minutes. Now, and by the way, I bought him one of these, the boxes.
Dude, why didn't you call me? What the fuck?
What do you mean? I see you all the time.
Yeah, but I don't see that Pokemon machine. What the fuck, man?
Well, I see you all the time. I don't see your brother all the time.
Yeah, but how are you going to get the Pokemon cards to him? You just going to ship them?
I'm going to see him next week.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were going to see me today. You could have just gotten some for me.
Dude.
Wait, hold on. Did it have Mewtwo on the front of it?
I don't know what that means.
A Pokemon?
It was a gilded?
Picture.
Yeah.
Picture.
It's this box.
It's not Destined Rivals.
They did have those. But I bought them this box.
Oh, Obsidian Flames.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they had a bunch of shit. They had an ETB in here.
I don't know what that means. Which one's the ETB?
That's the one you bought. It's called an Elite Trainer box. Oh, they had the Destined Rivals, so that's the Japanese. Journey Together Japanese. Oh, they had a ton of shit in there.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Thanks for the call.
So, well, they had these too. And so dude, here's one of my biggest pet peeves because I was very, I'm very aware of other people, and I consider myself to be a pretty polite dude. And she said she was ready to roll. And so I was like, and then the fact that she wouldn't let me back in and was buying things one at a time. And people are so, in general, I blame the phones a lot for this, so selfish, so self-absorbed, zero quarter awareness of other people. And I was just sitting there behind her after I just let her go in front of me, because obviously I could have done exactly what she did, which is talk to Trevor, this is what she was doing with her son.
Yeah.
Going through every card.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm ready. She was like, hold on a second. She obviously didn't want me to buy something
that
her son might have wanted.
Yeah.
I have such a problem. I'll tell you one of the reasons the thing I struggle with the most with myself right now. I'm a very empathetic person.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a day and age where people, if it doesn't affect them, they don't give a fuck. And like this woman to stand there and to see me waiting there and to know that I was ready after I had just let her, and to not let me step up and buy this, I finally said out loud, you have to move so I can just buy this for my son and get on my plane. I was just like, I could not believe, dude, but the zero cord awareness and the zero give a fucks that people have for anybody else or for anything that doesn't affect them is such a huge bummer for me. It really, I didn't realize until recently how much it affected me. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to separate myself from it, because being empathetic to other people in today's culture is really difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because some people just like, it's hard to be empathetic to people who don't have any cord awareness. It's hard to like want to be, you know.
I was blown away by how just who she did not give a single fuck.
Yeah.
That I was standing there and I just let her go in front of me.
Everyone is, it's funny. There's a clip. There's a guy, I don't even know his stuff. It's just a clip that kind of went viral a couple years ago. There's this dude interviewing just random people in the mall. And this guy, he's interviewing a guy and somebody just walks right in front of the camera. And the guy who's interviewing goes, damn, just not even thinking about other people. And the guy who he's interviewing, for sure on the spectrum, is like, yeah, but like, you shouldn't hold it to him. Everyone's in their own little world. Everyone's doing their own little thing. They're fighting their own little battles. Like, I feel like we should all be a little more compassionate that everyone's kind of just doing their own thing. And they're sometimes only looking out for themselves, and that can be good and can be bad. And the guy was like, it's just something you kind of just have to brush off, like water off a duck's back. And I was like, huh.
No, we don't live in a bubble.
No.
We live in a giant community. And the reason we live in a giant community.
Sure. Yeah. Tell that to half the country.
Dude, it's more than half the, it's.
No, I know, but like, you know, we live in a community, but you could say we live in a community. This country's a bunch of different communities.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I won't say that we're all one community, because we're not.
No, we are not.
Half the country, we're divided straight down the fucking, not down the middle, because each side, you know what I mean? But like, we're divided because this is not a community.
But I just want to say that I kind of disagree. The more we talk about how divided we are, dude, you and I travel this country.
Mm-hmm.
We, at our shows in particular, more than anybody that I know, we have people from all walks of life who believe all sorts of different things.
Yep.
And what I take away from it isn't how divided we are. What I take away from it is how easy it would be to bring most people, the far reaches on either side are not coming to meet anyone in the middle, but how easy it is to actually bridge the gap when you start. The problem is people nowadays start most discussions with the things that they disagree with. There's no way that discussion's going well if you start it with, this is what I disagree with you about. But if you start with, this is what I agree with you about, people who you think are your friends and are friendly, and you are more likely to be able to have a conversation to bridge a gap. But unfortunately, the way they divide us is they make us start every conversation with what we disagree on. And that is, you're never gonna find a common ground. And so one of the reasons I do what I do, which is just try to be silly and funny, is and not get up there and throw social or political or any issues, especially when I'm on stage, is because I want to show everybody this. Let's just get in a room together and laugh. And from there, hopefully we're starting from a place of agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly couldn't disagree with that statement more, truthfully. Because sure, if we're not talking all politics or anything else on stage, and which we don't, because it's just also for us, you and I, yeah, you want to unify, but also at the same time, I just don't think it's funny. Like politics for me isn't funny because it's so fucking real what's happening in this country right now. And you're right. In our crowds, you don't know who's in our crowd. We have a lot of rights in our crowd.
Right and left.
Right and left, 100%.
Yep.
But that's why we don't talk about it, is because it'll just immediately divide the room. My thing is like, we talked about it last week. You were on the train of everyone can treat each other well no matter what you vote, who you voted for. But I can't start to think of a sense of community when over half the country is supporting a racist and a criminal. So there's no sense of community until we can get past that part for me. Like, you could still be a good person, but if you voted for Trump, like we talked about last week, you're supporting the racist, you're supporting the homophobic, you're supporting Nazis. So for me, there's no sense of community, and nor will there be while this man's in charge, because of the fact of that. You could be a good person. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think this would happen in any alternate universe. But let's just say there is one alternate universe, because that's the theory. There's one alternate universe where you and Mom voted for Trump. And in that alternate universe, we stopped touring. We stopped talking. I don't talk to you guys anymore. That's how I would do that. Whether it would sink my ship or fucking not. We're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to converse or put myself around people voluntarily and on purpose who support that kind of person. And so that sense of community for all walks of life doesn't come around until that is gone.
So this is where I find the danger in that, Jacob Wolf, is first of all, I think we have to allow people to be like, ooh, one of the reasons, like, when you hear people who are be like, oh, dude, I regret this or that. And other people online are like, well, fuck you, dude. This is what you voted for. Strap in. I think that's ridiculous. And I think we have to allow people grace and to be able to go, yeah, I might have made a mistake, or I didn't see this come in, or I didn't believe him when whatever their regrets are. But you're never going to reach other people by drawing a line. And we have to be able to one of the reasons that we look, the people in charge, the way they talk to each other and talk about the opposite group trickles down into how we all talk to each other and the general discourse that we're having in America. But there has to be a healing, dude. There has to be, again, I think you're grouping everybody. I think there are far and far, right?
Yep. Both sides.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And so those people I'm going to leave out of it because they're not reachable from either one. And I think I think extremes are bad. But if you keep dehumanizing, it just makes the divide farther. Instead of being like, yo, dude, I get it. You're rich. You want the tax cuts, but the way we're treating immigrants is inhumane. And so we have to be able to find priorities where you can still value your money, but we get to value people too. And I hear what you're saying, man.
I have some rebuttal to that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just think it's super dangerous and pushes us closer to legit Civil War type stuff when we keep dehumanizing the other group. And one of the things that I love about our crowds is it humanizes the people that you are talking about. When they come up with their kids and they're like, we love you guys. We love your relationship. It's inspirational. This is what we can agree on, where you realize, oh, these people are doing what they think is best for their family. So how do I reach them? Well, you reach them because most of the time people have these ideas about other people that they haven't met. It's super easy for me to be like, oh, not me, but for somebody to be like, the fucking immigrants, they commit crimes. Well, I've never met one, but I know what Trump says. Well, then we got to get you around people who aren't committing crimes, who are immigrants. So you can be like, oh yeah. This is not everyone's a rapist and a drug dealer. And
Sure. I mean,
right?
I still will disagree with that.
Yep.
Because I mean, honestly, also on your side, using a millionaire as your example is not a good example.
What do you
Because
mean?
for the millionaire, you said, oh yeah, you said, I get it. You were looking out for your money, but we're looking out for people. The millionaires, that's my point, is the people still who voted for him, whether they're racist or not, are only looking out for themselves and their
Yes.
money and not the middle class. You want to call community? That's not community. They're voting for their own money. They're voting to keep the rich richer and to make the
Mhm.
poor poor. Fuck community. That's not community at all, dude. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, and also, though, I get all walks of life and I get bringing people together. It's easy to judge people off of just what they know. But again, it's just the base fact. They think they're doing what's right for their family by supporting a racist and a Nazi. I'm out. You got wrong. You got the wrong, in my book, you have the wrong morals. You have the wrong outlook on what this is, millionaire or not. Because a lot of people who voted for him are also low class, low middle class, or
Mhm.
poverty stricken. Because they don't care about money. They care about whatever else it is.
Here's what they care about, dude. You're scaring them. A lot of those people are being, hey, you're middle to low class white. Hey, yo, these brown people, they're coming to get your shit and they're taking your jobs, which they aren't. And they're raping your women, which they aren't. But it's fear. So the way you get past the fear, dude, is you have to be there to have conversations with people. And so you're not getting past the fear or the hatred by pointing fingers and going, you're a Nazi. Look, people talk about Rogan and some of the other people that I know that have migrated from left to right. Okay. And when you talk to, and I'm not referring to Rogan specifically because I don't know him, but you talk to a lot of those people, and what made them slowly drift was just what you're talking about, which is a bunch of people, because they didn't agree with every single thing that they said, being like, well, then you're a Nazi. Well, then you hate black people. Well, then you're anti-gay. And you're like, I'm not. Stop calling. So there's a whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it slowly pushes them over to a different spot. So what I'm saying is we have to allow people to have different ideas and be able to put ourselves in situations to have civil discourse. But if it's always name calling and it's always, here's my line. And again, there are definite lines that I draw, you know that.
Yep.
But I allow people to have different ideas. I have to allow it so we can discuss it. If you don't allow them, no one's ever going to be able to change their mind. Do you know what I mean?
That's fine. Like I get that. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like a not, I guess not a switch up, but it sounds different from what you were saying last week. Because last week you were on the train of, if you voted for this guy, you supported this. Those were
it's not different. What I was saying was, if you voted for him, you voted for the same person that the Nazis are on. And I don't know how you can do that. Right.
Right.
Like I couldn't do that. I told you that's where I don't know much about policy, and what I do know, I keep to myself because I haven't researched. But if you voted for this, what I know is I can't be on the same side as the guy that the Nazis are on.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
That's the extreme. I'm not on the side. What I'm saying is, dude, I leave myself open to conversation. I don't go, hey, I don't want you at my show because you voted for this dude. I want you there. I want you to see somebody who thinks differently than you and who you like and who I like you. And so, right, because other than that, if you're never around somebody who doesn't think like you, it's easy to be like, those people. You know how many times I hear from people like, you're one of the good ones. Okay. But so you get enough good ones around these other people, it humanizes them. So you're like, oh, these people aren't for the downfall of America, or these people are. And I'm probably a little more center than you are on a lot of things.
Definitely.
Yep.
I'm
dude. I am
not extremist. I'm probably a couple levels below it, but like I'm very far left.
Dude, I am very far left socially and culturally and being human, very far left.
Yeah.
And that people should live their lives very far left. Now, I probably want a tighter border than you do. But my point is, dude, the labels and the lines continue to make the divide further. It's why we allow our leaders to say terrible things about 50% of the country. Because we've keep putting the divide further and further and further and further. And some things have become normalized that are so fucking wrong. And I want to get to a point, and I think we may be too far. I honestly think, unfortunately, something terrible is going to have to happen here in this country before we snap out of it. Something terrible is going to have to happen before we can get our politicians to stop speaking so badly about 50% of the country.
Yeah.
Which is a trickle down. And so I think something terrible, unfortunately, is going to have to happen. Dude, we had a legit domestic terrorist kill politicians in Minnesota, and it somehow didn't get as much airtime from the White House as people burning Teslas. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Did you hear not the conspiracy, but like, I mean, I guess it's a conspiracy, but not really. Obviously, it was politically motivated.
Yeah.
100%. But if you look at the floor for the House and the Senate, the Democrats, like, it's pretty even, or the Democrats have one more seat. So what the thought is that person went to kill the senators to open up a seat in each one of those so that the Republicans could then take over the House and Senate.
Well, the Republicans already have the House and Senate.
It's a seat chart. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
There's a seat chart where it's like, it's even-ish numbers, whatever. That's that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I have another conspiracy though.
Yeah. But my point is this, and I'm sorry when we went so far down this rabbit hole,
I think it's important.
is I do too, man. I just wish people you started on things that you agree on. What do you want? I want what's best for my family. Me too. Let's talk about that. I want best schools. I want best education. Me too. Right? We're never going to get there until our leaders start showing us the way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Best schools and education, also a bad example for you, but yeah, fair enough.
Not bad. I think
he abolished the whole Department of Education.
But dude, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about humans.
Well, you said
I'm talking about other humans. I'm talking about starting a conversation with somebody who you think you don't agree with, right? I'm not talking, and most people, dude, have no idea how abolishing that is going to affect them. They really don't.
Yeah.
And so anyways, let's talk about some other shit.
Okay.
But I agree with you, man. I think drawing hard lines in general, except with extreme people, is not a good idea. Because there's gray area with everybody.
Sure.
There's gray area with everybody.
Sure.
You don't think there's gray? Everything's not black and white, dude.
That's the thing. This is the last thing I'm going to end it on, because we will talk about this for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This election was black and white. What is happening?
For me, the choice was black and white.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The choice is black and white.
People are gray. Everybody.
Right. But I'm talking about the choice for right now.
For me too.
Was
the choice.
Black and white. So that guilty by association, for me, who you voted for is black and white. And that could just be me, where I don't see gray in that, because I see the choice as black and white, which means for me, if my choice is black and white, well, why isn't the choice black and white for the rest of the fucking country?
Well, I think we go back to what we were talking about earlier, is that most people vote for what's good for them. Right? Okay. Most people. So if I'm a farmer and I believe that Trump's going to be better for my farm and my life and my business, I'm going to vote for that. If I'm a a guy in the car business, and the car business is bad. But I believe that Trump's going to bring business back and automotive, like they're going to open up plants here and it's going to be better for me and my family. I'm going to vote for that. I don't really care if he starts a crypto scheme and makes money. I don't really care if he's kicking immigrants out because that doesn't affect me. This is what I'm saying is that most people are voting simply for what's good for them. Right. And that's why you hear some people like, holy shit. That's like, dude, one of my favorite clips online is the Cubans in Miami. I will vote for Donald Trump. Have you seen that clip?
No.
Dude, the funniest fucking thing. And because that woman who was singing that song, like her husband got deported.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So, but most people are just voting for what's in their world.
And
right.
What I would say for them, it is black and white, just a different black and white.
Yes.
That's all. I think really the gray that you're talking about for some people is just a different perspective of black and white.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, great.
Go ahead. What do you got this week?
Okay. Speaking of more rich people, do you see Bezos rented out an island for his wedding?
Man, fuck this guy.
But here's the best part. Him and his wife's name is Lauren Sanchez, I think is her name. But first of all, she's wearing double engagement rings.
I saw that, bro.
Damn, bitch. That shit is worth more than my life.
Yeah.
Just one of the rings worth more than my life.
Way more.
Yeah. Crazy. Nuts.
Jacob.
That shit.
I didn't even see the picture. Her shoes are more than your life.
Dude, everything.
Yeah.
So, but the caption for one of the articles was, even our billions can't rent out the whole island. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, we could only close off half the island to our amazing guest list. The other half is open to tourists. So just think about it. One half of the island is Jeff Bezos, probably like Tom Brady, Michael Rubin, all of the richest people in the world that you can think of, any actress or actor ever. And then the other half is just all these regular people.
Do you know what I would do?
I would crash the wedding.
I would legit be a gorilla at the zoo and fling poo over the half line.
That'd be awesome.
I would just fling poo.
Dude,
and just fling poo.
Can I be honest?
Is it illegal to fling poo?
Yeah, I think that's public defecation.
I would get like one of those giant slingshots.
No, dude, I think
you know what the ones?
That's bodily harm. If you shoot it at someone and it hurts them, that's
no. Up in the air, raining poo down on the Bezos wedding.
But if it hits somebody or then they get pink eye, you get sued or you get in trouble.
I take my lumps, and so will they.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But also, do you think because I mean, if you think about it, the amount of private jets that flew to Italy for this wedding is probably absurd. Do you think? And this is just a thought now, since we're talking about what's going on. Do you think any climate activists will show up to the island and pack out the second half of it and just be like,
no,
fuck Jeff Bezos?
No. Even if they're not going to get close. The only way you're going to get close is if you fling poo.
No, I think that's how you get taken further away.
Do you know what I might do? I might get one of those slingshots. You know those little army guys that have the parachute?
Yeah.
I would fling them from all over the island, except I would have poo instead of army guys. And I would just
drop on parachutes?
I would parachute poo down into his wedding.
Poo parachute?
Oh, God. Come on. Somebody in Italy, do a slingshot poo.
Poo parachute.
Josh
Wolf will pay you to poo parachute the Bezos.
I am so anti Jeff Bezos and his billions.
Dude, it's such a different level of fuck you money.
Fuck it. It's
like you rented out half an island.
No.
It's such fuck you money. It really hurts my feelings.
I really want to fling poo at that wedding. Yeah. Who flung poo? Who flung poo would be if I was like gonna get into like martial arts movies and maybe I, portrayed an Asian and my name would be Who Flung Poo.
That's so dumb. And nobody would ever let you do that.
They would too. They'd be Who Flung starring Josh Wolf as Who Flung Poo.
Instead of like 1 inch punch, what would your move be?
Dude, if I was a martial arts guy and I just flung poo.
No, you're instead of 1 inch punch, it's 1 inch pinch.
Yeah, dude, I pinch it off and Who Flung Poo. And I would
have to say it every time.
Oh yeah, Who Flung Poo.
You're so stupid.
So,
but also, at the same wedding, did you see Tom Brady and Single Tom Brady and single Orlando Bloom out on the town in Italy.
Dude, I just grew a vagina.
Dude,
Are you kidding?
imagine walking down and you just see Tom Brady and Orlando Bloom walk by you. Handsome. Good fucking God.
Honestly, dude, they're walking down the street and women are literally throwing their vaginas at them. Like they would have to have those parasols up just to block vagina.
They're like Fred Astaire.
Just bing, 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 bing,
Yeah.
blocking vagina all over the place.
Yeah.
Leo's there too.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about Leo. I'm enough comfortable with myself to say what man I think is handsome. Leo's so overdone.
Do you have the same body type as Leo?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you
How
do.
dare you? How dare you? Leo wish he looked like me.
You have the exact same body type.
I do not have the same body type. He would have a gut hanging out right now. I do not. There's no gut there.
Okay.
I ate a salad for lunch. Thank you so much. Thanks for playing. No breadcrumbs.
Who
flung poo?
Who flung poo? The Orlando Bloom, Tom Brady, Leonardo DiCaprio walk into a bar in half of the island of Venice. And although Venice is an island.
No, there's probably an island off the coast of Venice where they are.
In what order is vagina approaching them?
Orlando Bloom, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Brady.
You think Brady's third?
I go Brady third. This reason only. You're in Italy. They don't know what football is.
Doesn't matter.
They do. Yeah, 100%. 100% it matters. Because you look at Orlando Bloom, in every country, he's handsome and famous. Yes?
Yeah.
If you look at Tom Brady, I would say in most of the very predominant English-speaking countries, he's famous. I would say in England, 100%. I would say in the States and in Canada, 100%. I would even say in fucking Mexico, Tom Brady. Yes. Not an English-speaking country, but I would say even in Mexico, because it's in the same continent where football, right? But I would say once you go overseas, that football aura kind of slides. At this point, you're just a rich, handsome man, which, by the way, is still great for you in any country.
Yep.
But I want Orlando Bloom, DiCaprio, Brady.
I think in order of vagina, it goes DiCaprio, Brady, Bloom.
Just based off face, Orlando Bloom first for me. Just based off face.
DiCaprio is also the pool that he's swimming in is limited because you got to be 27 and under.
27, 25.
28. He brought a 27-year-old to the wedding.
He did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So 27, and he's aging up a little bit.
Out of his,
So the girls he's dating now can officially rent a car from Enterprise.
Sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're over 25.
Because he's definitely making them drive too.
Yeah. No. So I go DiCaprio, I think anywhere in the world, number one.
Yeah.
I think Orlando Bloom only because he looks a little different now. He's a little bulkier now. It took me a second to figure out who he was.
Not me. Handsome.
Did you see
that little earring he got going on too? Looks good.
Dude, he's a little jack.
Handsome, dog. Handsome.
He's a little
young
jack.
Orlando Bloom is handsome.
Yeah.
This older Orlando Bloom, handsome, dog.
But
can I be honest? Like, I feel like he's kind of chasing the Pedro Pascal vibes, and he just can't chase Pedro Pascal.
Tom Brady, dude, his skin is pure. It's so.
If you want to fuck a dude with a dad bod, Brady and DiCaprio are those guys. Bloom is still in great shape. Look at us. Look at us talking about who we'd rather fuck.
Bite your fucking tongue about Tom Brady's body.
Never had abs once in his life.
He doesn't need abs. That doesn't mean he has a dad bod.
He's got a dad bod.
No, he does not.
Look up a shirtless picture of Tom Brady.
Look right now. Dude, you don't think I look every day? This dude does not have a dad bod. By the way, can I tell you something what I'm angling for? Before I turn 60? I'm going to get a spread in men's health fitness.
Oh, he's definitely worked on his body during the offseason.
Yeah.
He looks better actually now than he used to.
Dude,
Do you want to see 1999 Tom Brady?
No, I know what 1999 Tom Brady looks like. Yeah.
Dude, the fact that this right now, the picture we're looking at is the greatest quarterback of all time is insane.
Honestly more upset with the shorts than anything else. That is a huge bummer. But yeah, dude.
He actually looks great right now. I'm not going to lie.
He's Tom Brady.
By the way, Tommy,
Tommy,
I know you're not going to hear this, but Tommy, I'm not talking bad about Tommy the GOAT. I'm just saying,
Tommy,
your body wasn't the greatest.
I would put you as honestly. I think Brady transcends American football.
Well, he now is like an owner of a club in England football.
I think Italy people know Tom Brady. And
Probably because of Giselle, actually.
and Leo is going more incognito. Dude, he goes baseball hat, glasses. He honestly, if you saw him outside of probably like a real highfalutin place, you might think he was homeless.
But he's got security walking around with him, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Dude,
But
yeah.
yo, dude, P.S. Did you see all this shit with the Liver King and Joe Rogan?
No.
So Liver King got arrested
For what?
because he's been challenging Rogan to a fight. And if you look at Liver King, he looks so unhealthy. Like the mugshot picture of him, he's clearly losing his mind a little bit.
Well, dude, that can't be a healthy diet.
No, dude.
But
And,
also, he's for sure doing steroids and other drugs.
well, he's admitted to that. But
yeah.
But like to challenge Rogan. So here's okay. First of all, Rogan has a gazillion special forces. Like that's who protects him.
Yeah.
So to get through that, no chance. But you know, Rogan is like a legit fighter.
Legit.
Dude, black belt Taekwondo. I believe he
Jiu-jitsu.
fought. I believe something. Can you Google, Matt? Was Rogan on the Taekwondo Olympic team? But I know he fought and sparred a ton of people. And his kicks are like so fucking powerful. But a legit Taekwondo dude and a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And Liver King has no fighting experience. The only thing that I think that kind of makes him tough is that he shits lying down on the floor. That seems real difficult.
Yeah. Rogan has a background in martial arts and even won a national championship
That's
in
what it is.
Taekwondo,
Yeah.
but never competed with the Olympic team.
No joke, dude. This
But-
dude is no joke.
No, and here's the thing. He's also black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
Trained in Muay Thai, trained
Yes.
in wrestling, trained in judo. Look,
Hmm?
I don't care how big you are. And also Rogan's not a
Dude,
small dude.
Liver King is not bigger than Joe. And
No, and also you're that's not what I was getting to. What I'm getting to is I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you look like the Liver King. I'm not fighting Joe Rogan. There's
dude,
zero chance in my world, in my life, that if I had to pick 1,000 people on the planet to fight, Joe Rogan's not even in the top 10,000.
no,
of people
dude,
I would
are you
fight.
kidding? Not only that, it's not like Rogan doesn't do steroids. Liver King's not out steroiding Joe Rogan.
No.
So like, but he went unhinged. And this is one of the things that I feel, if you go back to what I was saying about social media, I think it's driving mania in people. I want off. I know I can't get off, but I want off. I want off. I sometimes I go back and forth on feeling like, oh, I really should, these people are commenting, I should reply. And I want to reply because I like the connection that I have with a lot of my fans,
Right.
but I want off.
Yeah.
I see what it does to people.
Mhm.
It drove this dude legit insane.
Yeah.
And I also, it looks like he's doing speed. Like, have you
He's
seen
doing
pictures?
cocaine or speed.
Have you seen the pictures of him?
Yeah.
Have you seen the arrest photo?
No.
Dude.
The mugshot?
Look at,
I just knew prior he was doing it. Like
but
it's very easy to see.
I think people who talk like that, same thing with Brendan, dude. Brendan Schaub. You say
Jesus.
say whatever you want.
Christ.
Say whatever you want about Brendan. Brendan Schaub, when people talk shit about him, dude, Brendan Schaub could beat up 99.9% of the people in the world.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 100 humans versus one gorilla. Fuck it. I'm taking Brendan Schaub versus a gorilla. Fuck you,
Dude,
Dude, he is a gorilla.
he's a monster.
Monster human being.
Monster. Yeah, dude, I saw the picture.
Dude, that is a rough. That is also. You know what's crazy? This mugshot.
Honestly,
why are his pupils two different sizes?
I know one's dilated, one's not.
Dude, that's a crazy photo.
One's
dude.
dilated, one's not.
Yeah, technically
Yeah.
his right pupil is giant.
He honestly looks,
Wait, so why did he get arrested?
he looks super homeless.
Yeah.
Well, for making terrorist threats against Joe.
Oh, he made like domestic threats. against-
I didn't dig too deeply, but he went to Austin and was a hotel room because he was talking shit about fighting Joe.
Oh, he went to
But-
see him in person.
Yeah, listen, dude, this guy, you never saw the TV show Lost,
I know,
but he looks like one of the others. He honestly, Like he looks like his beard smells like human feces.
Yeah, dude. It looks like it smells like rotting animal meat. Like he just looks like he doesn't smell good.
And his nose does not look like it fit. It's that face. It looks like Mr. Potato Head.
No,
Somebody put the wrong
Yeah,
nose
you
on
know what
there.
this looks like? You know when you go in a video game and you go to create a character?
Yeah.
This is what this looks like.
The-
Your character gets arrested. Like if you're in GTA and you create a character, this is your character. This is what you look like.
I watched the Liver King doc.
I won't.
I did.
He's insane.
And again, when I go back to this stuff, I feel bad for their kids. You know,
He has kids.
yeah, dude, he has 2 sons
Oof.
and a wife.
Oof.
I hear the empire is falling. He had such a cool little setup.
He
But
did
you
have-
know what wouldn't have hurt him? I don't know why he needed to pretend like he was all natural. If he had because look, Rogan is very honest about how he works out. Brendan, very honest about how they work out. And so I'm not sure what the need to pretend to be natural,
Yeah.
because it fucked up his whole business.
Yeah, 100%. Because then once people are like you're on steroids and you come out and say you're on steroids, it ruins your whole image. Because your image before was I'm clean, I do this natural, and then once you ruin it,
But
it doesn't
here's
do
what-
anything for you.
Steroids aren't a magic pill. If you take steroids and don't work out hard, it's not going to affect you in a good way.
Correct.
So like is it cheating? No, dude, we're not professional athletes.
No.
And you're trying to be healthy and live a long time. And these supplements and TRT and all the peptides, if you got the money for it, fucking do it, dude.
Yeah.
You want to have a long, healthy life.
Yeah.
Now, you glazed right over the idea of me getting a men's health and fitness spread. Why did you do that? I
didn't even hear you say that.
think that I want to do that. I want to, that's a goal of mine before I'm 60,
To do what?
to get a spread in men's health fitness.
A spread? Like spread your legs? What?
No,
what are you
dude, like
talking about?
a article, like a,
Oh, you want to be in Men's Health and Fitness?
Yeah.
An article.
yeah.
Got it.
What do you think about that?
Do whatever you want. I don't care.
I mean, what's crazy?
But make sure in the article they know that no matter how good a shape you're in, you can't beat me in a boxing match. Maybe we should do a boxing match before so you have a black eye in it. So people are like, go, oh, what happened? Be like, my son beat the shit out of me.
I can't, honestly, dude, we can't box again.
It's crazy. Right before this podcast.
I'll tell you why we can't box.
But can I tell everyone what you
Yep,
said right before the podcast? I'm like, dude, would you fight me right now? And you're like, 100% I'd fight you right now. So what's the switch up?
The switch up is I could never actually hit you hard.
You would barely be able to hit me just like last time.
This is not, okay. If we were fighting for real, do you know what my strategy would be?
Hit me in the stomach.
I would walk very quickly, right when the bell rang, right at you. I would walk through a couple punches and I would take 2 or 3 very hard swings at your stomach.
You're talking about fighting for real. So you're saying you're going to eat 3 punches that I hit you with before you can throw a punch.
Yes.
If we're throwing 100%,
Dude, I'm like this.
but we're throwing 100%.
Yes.
You're saying you're just going to eat 3 punches and then hit me?
Yes.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that a lot because guess what? I'm going to be able to keep my space. I'll keep my space by peppering you. That's how I did. I'll keep backing you away.
You're going to have to throw these punches off your back foot because I'm going to come right at you.
Okay. And I have enough. I think you're also underestimating. I'm still a lot faster than you are.
Way faster.
So then I'll just run around the ring like this.
No, I'm going to Clubber Lang you.
Not if you can't catch me.
Do you know that reference, Clubber Lang?
No, but I have a feeling it's just throwing haymakers.
No.
Oh.
Clubber Lang is Mr. T, Rocky 3.
Oh.
Where Rocky would try to run and Clubber Lang would just get him and throw him back into the corner.
0 chance you'd be able to catch me. You wouldn't be able to catch me because then you try to catch me, you drop a hand, and I just hit you right in the face.
Yeah. I will never know.
Because we won't fight 100%.
Because I would never hit you.
I would.
I know you would. But I would never.
Looked into the camera for that one.
In
I'd
a-
hit you.
In
I'd hit you.
in a million years, you could never get me into the ring and take a real swing at you.
Yeah, probably not.
No. I could never do it. Even if we were like, somebody talked to us about boxing
For money.
for Roy Jones Jr.
Say
and for
less.
money.
Say less.
But I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't get in a
Then
ring.
just let me win.
Yeah, but I also would not be happy eating punches.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. We'd
So-
have to make it really close. Or it's like a split decision.
There isn't enough money in the world for me to get in the ring and hit you.
There's a lot of money in the world for me to get in the ring and hit him. Just for anybody out there who's listening.
I couldn't do it.
But also, this goes for anything. If you want to just get me in a creator content boxing match, sign me the fuck up. I would get in a ring with another creator. 100%.
Yeah, but without knowing, like,
No, obviously set up the fight.
Yeah.
And like have a lead up to it. I would train and I would 100% get in a boxing ring for like one of those content boxing fights.
yeah,
100%.
you're super
Dude,
confident for
no,
somebody
I'm
who's
not-
never fought before.
Well, I wouldn't say I've never fought. I would say like I've never fought professionally, but
Yeah.
I have in my background, not recently, but in my background, I know how to throw a punch. I know how to throw a kick.
Yep.
I did a decade of martial arts.
Yep.
Which included grappling, which included boxing, which
Yep,
included
agreed.
MMA, it included a bunch of different stuff. Taekwondo, like I know how to fight.
Yes.
I just have never had the chance to put it into work. But you give me a couple months to train and get into it and get back into a ring, I'll fight somebody 100%.
Maybe we'll set that up.
I'm not saying I'm confident I would win, but if you get somebody in my weight class,
Weight class?
you get somebody in my weight class,
What weight class do you think you're at? Because you train a little bit, so I'm assuming you drop some weight.
I would drop some weight on purpose and then try and regain it in some muscle, but I would probably go in the 150 weight class.
Yeah, that seems right.
I think 150 would be a good weight for me because then also I could add some muscle but still stick at 150,
How much do you think you weigh right now?
160. But I bet you, yeah, 150 is what I get to.
You know how much,
And like
I,
a
you know
cut
how much I
150.
weigh right now?
Nobody cares. Except you. So I guess just say it. Anywho, before we go, Matt, will you pull up that clip real quick I sent to you? We're about to be done. Like we're literally at
What do you mean
hour.
nobody cares?
Did I stutter?
No.
Okay. So this is this is an Instagram page just called Crash Out Clips. Okay. And this is just a game that parents have started doing with their kids where they lay out a treat next to a cup. They have to make the ping pong ball in the cup. They get the thing. Okay.
Wait, those look like tuna creations. Those are treats?
Is that what that says? Those do say tuna creations. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's like hamburger helper, dude, but with tuna.
Yeah. Oh,
That-
yeah. Why are they competing for tuna creations? Holy shit.
No
By
wonder.
the way,
that- yeah,
I never even noticed this.
yeah, dude. Is the kid sour in this video? No wonder he's sour.
Not sour for winning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. So this is Crash Out. Volume warning for you listening.
Stop! What was that, Mom? Can I redo that? That's your fault. That's your fault. Try to go that.
Can I?
By the way, this is the
Can
best
I
part.
say something?
He doesn't get a single.
Can I mention something? Can you press stop, Matt? Is that the heaviest sounding ping pong ball you've ever heard in your life?
Dude, this is just keep playing it. Keep playing it. I just love
Does he
this.
melt down?
They moved it closer for him.
Open your eyes.
Dude, not a great hunter. Come on, Hunter.
That's it. That's the video.
Listen, what, by the way, what a fuck you from the parents. You get to win tuna creations.
I think it was just what they had a plethora of. But by the way, if I was a kid watching and that was my friend, I'd be like, guess whose house I'm never going over to for dinner?
Yeah, dude.
That fucking place.
Put a $1 bill down for each one.
No, the other ones were candy for the other kids. And it's a lot more fun because also what they'll do is they'll have all
What
three
other
of-
kids?
So this is a trend that people are doing with their kids.
Oh,
And so there's another one where there's 3 kids in front of a bunch of candy. And the mom says the candy, and the first kid to grab it gets it.
I love
And
that
it's
one.
like it's the middle and the oldest kid get all the candy, and the youngest kid is just like, "Ah!" just freaking out. It's so
Dude,
fucking funny. I love it.
Kids throwing tantrums. You remember what used to happen at our house when people threw tantrums?
Well, I never threw a tantrum because I saw Trevor throw one once and get left at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And then I never threw a tantrum.
I remember watching my dad do that to my brother. He left him at the grocery store and watching my brother sprint out of the grocery store after our car.
Super funny.
And
I
I
wish
was
you had. I'm not gonna lie. With the stories you tell me, I wish you had phones when you were a
oh,
kid.
dude. I remember thinking to myself, I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get left at the store. So I remember you, Caitlin, and Trevor. Trevor threw a tantrum in the aisle of the grocery store, and I was like, dude, we're not doing that. And he was throwing a tantrum, and I left the cart there, and I said, hey, everybody, we're leaving. And he was like, I'm not leaving. I go, cool. And we walked out of that store, dude.
It's crazy.
And now,
He went back and got him.
yeah, dude, of course.
Funny
Back
to put that out there.
But but he never threw a tantrum again.
Yeah, fuck that.
We're
Never
not.
lived in this house.
I can't. You know the thing about tantrums? I can't let you think that those work.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because if I give into a tantrum, that means you think that works. That means you're anytime you don't want it, you want something and you don't get it, you're throwing a fucking tantrum. Nah, not in my house.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm with that. All right. Well, that's it for us. Oh, also might be fostering a dog for a weekend this July.
I love that.
Pretty excited.
Do you know which one?
No, we went and saw a bunch this past week though, and there was a pit bull basset hound mix.
Oh, which body type?
Basset hound body type and ears, pit bull face. You want to see him?
What's his name?
Gecko.
Ugh.
Do you want to see him? Dude, he's the fucking best. Are you
Dude,
kidding me?
by the way, Basset Hound Pitbull, that is a rape baby right there.
There's a couple. So this is
Yo!
Chimuelo. This is Tucson. I want to bring Tucson home too because
Does Tucson have an underbite?
Yes, dude. Wait. Oh yeah, it went away. So this is Chimuelo, which means toothless.
Yeah.
So this is Chimuelo.
One ear up, one ear down.
Yeah. And this is Tucson.
So cute.
I love Tucson. This is Venus. Venus really liked Maaan. She was super cute, just a baby little husky. This is everyone wants to take Tabloid home.
How come?
Well, I don't know. So she made a video with like, this is the shelter we're at. Which dog would you take home?
Yeah.
And everybody loves this German Shepherd Tabloid. He's a fucking handsome boy. He's a good looking dog. I really loved him. Where's Gecko? This is Scooter.
Look at Scoot.
I love Scooter, dude. So we went to the Animal Foundation. Where's Gecko? This is Zoe. This little nugget. I really love her. I think Gecko's next. Nope. Where's Gecko? Dude, I want this dog. This looks like Rock.
Oh, dude, that's Buster.
This is Rocky, dude. This is if you never heard us talk about our dog, first dog, Rock. This is literally what he looked like when we got him. This is Rock.
Oh, little buddy.
That's Rock right there. So
honestly, if Indiana,
look at Gecko, dude.
Are you getting Gecko?
Look at Gecko, dude.
What are the odds that you get to get Gecko?
I want to. I just don't know if he's on the foster list because some dogs aren't on a foster list.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's like they put certain dogs higher up on a list because unfortunately this is a kill shelter.
Yeah.
So they put dogs who have been there longer and have a higher risk of euthanasia higher up on the list because they want them to be saved and get adopted.
Do you follow that woman Simon Sitz?
No, but God, I want. And then there was Marnie. Marnie really wanted to be friends too. But yeah.
What are the odds that you get to keep Gecko?
What about Bubbles? Wait. Oh, and then Ferb.
Is that dog's name Ferb?
Yeah. Look at Ferb.
Ferb.
He's a one-year-old shepherd.
Derp.
Yeah, he was really derpy. Chanel. Dude, there were so many good dogs at the shelter. Like the amount of dogs that I saw, like
honestly,
it was.
If you told me right now.
Oh, and then look at Badger. I might take this guy home for the weekend. 13-year-old pit mix named Badger.
Dude, if you told me right now, you have enough money to retire, get a farm, and adopt a dog every month.
Yes.
I would be like, fuck yeah. You would never see me again.
Ever.
For real, guys. Yeah. You would never. I would get a couple mini cows. I would get some baby goats.
Yeah. You would never see me ever again.
No.
I would go get the best internet known to man. I would go buy a plot of land in Montana.
Yeah.
And because it's gorgeous out there and stars and just all that. I buy a plot of land. I'd buy the best internet known to man. I would buy a lifetime supply of herb and gardening materials. And
yeah.
You would never hear from me ever again.
I'm on board
a
for
dog
all
a month.
I'm on board for all that except for the internet. If I have money to retire, I don't know that you're gonna see me again. Well, especially if I'm on a farm. Fuck that.
Well, if I'm on a farm with a bunch of animals,
why do I need the internet? What am I looking up?
No, not looking up, but like you're talking to me right now, retiring.
Not you. You're too young.
Well, no, I would retire. If you gave me all the money in the world right now, you'd never fucking see me ever again. Like legit, if I had Bezos money, you would never hear from me. My phone number would be changed. I would have a different identity. I would have facial reconstruction.
Identity?
I would have facial reconstruction. I'd change my name so nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Nobody knows who we are anyways.
That's rude. They know who I am. They just don't know who you are in the airport. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We really appreciate it. As always, none of this is possible without you guys. ComedianJoshua.com for tour dates and tickets. Again, we are only back on the road the last weekend of
August.
First weekend of August, last weekend of July.
That's what I meant.
The 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd, we're in Naples. After that, check the website for tour dates and tickets. We are nonstop. So come see us. ComedianJoshWolf.com for tour dates and tickets. Josh Wolf Comedy on all platforms. It's Jake Wolf on TikTok, Jake_Wolf on Instagram. And as always,
Monday nights in Vegas. Come see us.
That too. And as always, how I will be ending the podcast for a long time.
No.
Absolutely. And you don't get to take this out because I am part of this podcast.
Yes, you are.
I have a say in it. Do something nice for someone today. Tell someone you love them. Fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump. See you guys.
Later. Hey, if you like this podcast you just watched, you're going to love the one I'm popping up in your face right now. Check it out.